Hey guys, what's up? This is Aaron. You guys are probably wondering, what am I doing out in the woods? To give you that answer, I'm in this woods because I feel like it. But tonight's interview is with the band Lost Arts. And if you enjoyed this interview, feel free to hit the like button as well.
So what we're doing is we're searching the woods for some lost arts. You'll find out more about it in the interview. So.
And if you enjoyed this interview, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the like button and click the bell for notification. Follow us on our social medias. And yeah. Now, if you excuse me.
You got some lost arts to find.
Yes, I got some lost arts to find. So, yep. Adios, amigo.
I'm Caleb. I sing in Lost Arts.
I'm Drake. I play drums in Lost Arts.
Yeah, he does. He's supposed to do backing vocals sometimes too, but he doesn't do those all the time.
Yeah, sometimes I sing a little bit, but sometimes I don't.
How are you guys doing today?
Just today, I'm doing pretty good today. It's the
Yeah.
weekend. I can't complain.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Got off work early today, so that's a win. That's a win for me. Yeah.
How you guys been doing during this quarantine?
I mean, I started working like 2.5 weeks ago, so I've been doing better. But the first 5 weeks was weird. It was an interesting time. I don't know. Drake, how are you? How have you been? You've been working the whole time.
Yeah. So not that it's been awful. I enjoy that I still get to go to work every day and not interrupt like that. But the fact that I can't go anywhere else is pretty annoying. Getting used to having, band practice, maybe 3 times a week and not going anywhere else, kind of sucks. But, that's how it is.
As musicians, how do you manage to continue working on music during this quarantine in terms of motivation?
Interesting. I think the big thing for us, we just put a single out 2 weeks before everything was shut down, which was weird because we had all these plans that then we couldn't really follow through with. I think we've been trying to motivate one another. We've been trying to come up with sort of these just ideas, these fun things we can kind of do. But I think it's been tough. I think we've had a couple ideas where we've been we should rework this song or whatever, and then it just kind of falls on whose responsibility is it to start the train rolling. But I don't know, man. I've just been trying to play guitar more and use this time so that when it's over, the whole band and everything can be set up for success afterwards.
How has the quarantine affected you mentally, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I for me, I live. Well, actually, Drake does too. We both live with our girlfriends, so at least there's some human contact there. And I've just been calling my friends and stuff, and staying in contact with everyone. I think that's important. And you can't just stay alone in this whole thing, even if it is just a phone call to whoever, to your mom or whatever. So I wouldn't say it's affected me too much. I live in an apartment building. That can be a little frustrating. But it's just going out for a walk around the block even or whatever. So I would say mentally, I'm doing okay in this whole thing. I think that it could definitely be worse. Drake, what about you? How are you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like I'm not doing too bad. But at the same time, it's a weird interruption of what you your social routine, to where
For sure.
There's you text somebody hey, what are you doing tonight? That's totally off the table. it's not even considered to, you know, hang out with your friends or anything. But at the same time, I think staying at home is like a pretty small sacrifice, you know, to want to get back to, you know, being super social and like being back with your friends and everything. So I'm handling it fine, but you know, I think everybody wants to, you know, see their friends and stuff.
Totally. I don't think I've ever hugged Drake before, but it's the first thing I'm gonna do in this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever hugged before, but you know,
Dude, we're gonna be hugging after this, that's for sure.
it'll be a really special first hug for sure. Yeah.
It would be nice.
It would be nice for sure. Group hugs all around.
What advice would you give to someone who can't handle long periods of self-isolation?
Jeez, that's
Ooh.
Heavy.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably what I just said. Like, I don't know, stay in contact with the people that you care about. Like I said, even if it's just calling your mom or whatever. Like, it definitely sucks for sure. This whole thing is less than ideal, but ultimately, I feel like it's probably a small price to pay. So I don't, like you said, if you're kind of in a situation like me where you live in a 1-bedroom apartment and you don't even have a balcony, just take a rip around the block if you feel comfortable doing that, or like, you know, call the people that you care about for a little bit. You know, you're allowed to talk to people just from a distance, you know. So I don't know, stay in contact. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, Caleb, with the answer to that.
Thank you.
What I would say, if you don't already have like a hobby, I feel like now is probably the best time, you know, to develop, you know, some sort of new hobby or interest that you've never, you know, thought about pursuing, or you've just been too busy before. Like, we're lucky enough, you know, to have like music as a hobby, and we can work on that, like, you know, whenever we're not working. But at the same time, like, I'm really, like, a couple times I've really wanted to try and learn sign language, but like, you know, like, I'm really into it for like a week, and like, you know, I'll be practicing and I'll be looking up stuff, and then, you know, like, other stuff gets in the way and I just kind of, you know, drop off on this like weird goal that I have. But I feel like now's the time, you know, to like, if you want to learn a new skill or like develop a new hobby, like, go ahead. Like, you have not so much free time, but like, now you have the time to, you know, develop that kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you want to know, I know a little bit of sign language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon the plan actually is to replace Drake as the drummer, and then he's just gonna stand side stage and sign the show for us. That's the plan.
Actually, yeah, I could be that guy.
Yeah.
I'll come out with the same intensity.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
What is the meaning behind the name Lost Arts?
Oh man, Drake, I'm gonna let you answer this because I always give the real answer, and the real answer sucks.
Yes.
Drake and Hayden always have a great answer.
Yeah. So I mean, there's one day, you know, all of us were hanging out, and then Caleb was like, "Hey guys, bring all your best art to like this forest that I know about."
Yeah, I like to put art in forests.
And then we were like, "Yeah, that's super weird, but like, yeah, sure, we'll show up." And then, so, you know, we all brought our best framed, legitimate art to the forest, and then Caleb took all of our art.
A story.
Yeah, and then he just hucked it like real far. Like, he's super strong. Like, he's a really strong guy. And like, he threw it like way farther than like we could have ever imagined. And we're like, holy crap! Like, yeah. Dude, you threw our most like beloved art away into this forest, and like, we don't know where we are. So, and two, like you threw it really, really far. I have no idea how far you could have thrown our art. And then, so basically, this was before we were even a band. Like, we barely knew each other, and Caleb did this weird thing where he let us bring art to the forest.
Yeah.
So
it's weird that you just do it, though.
Yeah, it was super weird. And then we spent, probably the better part of an afternoon looking for this art that Caleb hucked into the forest. And then we actually never found any of it. So, pretty much...
It was lost.
Yeah, pretty much explains the name right there.
Yeah, that's a way better answer than I would have given.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all what I said. If you did believe it, thank you.
I think, I know that doesn't really answer your question, but the real answer isn't good, and I'm going to keep the mystery there. Because I'm going to steal from Addison from Lost in Japan, and that's what he said to me when I asked him what that band name meant. So, it's a mystery. I hope that was entertaining.
Yeah, and I also came up with that story right on the spot, by the way. So,
it's that the real answer would make everybody less interested in us.
How has this whole quarantine affected the band as a whole?
I hope not bad. I hope not bad. I would say like we're trying to stay positive. We've had a few like meetings, some Facebook phone call meetings. But I think we started 2020 like really, really, really positive. I was really happy with the direction. We kind of had a meeting in January, and we had all these goals, and a lot of those goals were playing live a lot and recording. And then some dude in China ate a bat and said, "Fuck your plans for playing live." So I think we're probably going to be on hold for a while because unfortunately, like we didn't have a whole lot booked before this, so I don't think that we're going to get top priority after this whole thing's over. But I mean, we're trying to write more. It's tough the problem I think with us in terms of writing right now is ultimately we write best together, and anything I think good that we've written has been together, the four of us, and it's not in our wheelhouse, I think, to write in pieces. I think that like the EP was kind of written that way, or like songs that I had, but we put out Taking Bets and Weightless, and those were both songs that the four of us, like all of us bled into those songs. And I think, so I don't want to say that we're on hold right now, but we're trying to sort of plan for like when, at least ideally for me, that as soon as this is over, we can kind of pick up where we were and go forward. I don't know. That was a really long-winded answer, but.
How did you form the band?
Man, the old origin story.
Yeah, the old how did it happen?
Yep.
I mean, the boring version is that we just went to school together, and we went to music industry arts at Fanshawe, and we actually got placed together as part of a project. Me, Drake, and Hayden got placed together with this other girl, Sydney, and I just had some songs that we would play when Sydney was late. And then and Drake was like, "Hey, we should. Those are some songs that you got. We should play those." And at the time, I had become friends with Nick, who's our guitar player. And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so we got Nick to come out, and that's just kind of it. There's nothing that special about it. We pretty much got forced together, and then we started playing some original stuff. And I don't know. That's the boring kind of Cole's Notes version of it. I don't know if Drake has a more exciting story that's not true, but a better interview answer.
No, I'd probably describe it the same way. Just we were forced together, and then our lead singer never showed up a lot. Yeah. So we just kind of did our own thing, and then we, threw somebody else in.
Yeah, and then we started booking shows, and then here we are.
Yeah, and now this is it.
No, this is it.
What are the inspirations for your music?
Oh boy. Drake, you can take this one.
Okay, so I think basically our sound kind of stems from like a little bit of kind of like a grunge-ish area, but then we kind of want to throw on a little like newer style, I don't want to say indie, but not alternative either, rock.
Yeah.
I want to say like our vocal stuff, like for Caleb, is a lot of, more like Alice in Chains style-ish stuff. But at the same time, like we have been compared to like Queens of the Stone Age or like style-ish. So I think you kind of described it as, more like a stoner rock, like alt rock kind of feel.
Yeah, I think like we always talk about, we've been writing a lot and we want to move forward and keep it kind of modern. And like the great thing about having Drake in the band is Drake is a great pop producer as well and a great pop songwriter, and I like that element in the band.
Hey,
as well.
thanks.
Hey man, no problem. I think that's important too. Is just a part of is that the four of us kind of individually have varying influences. I think like Nick and I are probably the closest in terms of what we listen to. But I think having that like twist on stuff is important because that's what keeps you separated. And I don't even know if we're that separated from like the rock pack, but it's definitely a goal in when we write and stuff. I don't know. Our influences are what our influences are. I don't know.
So what instruments do you play?
Oh man, I don't have anything interesting. I just play guitar. I was actually just talking to my buddy Craig. We were talking about how we both wish that we took piano lessons because I have a keyboard, but I have no idea how to play it. And I feel like if I could go back in time, I would take piano lessons. So maybe if I have a kid, I'll force them into piano lessons because I feel like that's just a skill.
Hey, it's not too late now. Like,
I mean,
at the time.
Hey man, you got time. Yeah.
I should use that 5 weeks that I was off work to learn how to play piano.
Yeah, just to become a pianist.
Yeah. But I just play guitar, and I guess, I've been accused of singing before, but that's all I got. Drake's a little more of a instrumentalist.
No, I play drums, like, to the best of my ability. Can noodle around a little bit on guitar. Same like with piano, like, I can play a chord. Give me a chord, I'll play it, but like
Give me a chord, I'll play it. Give me
a chord right now. I'll throw it down right here. Yeah. I can noodle around enough to to get by, but like I play drums and I make music.
He's also a great singer. Drake doesn't get enough credit for how good of a singer he is, man. He's the best singer in all of the bands that he's in. No offense to Cam. Cam's also
honestly, I should have been two lead singers in two different bands, but I'm not. So
he plays drums in two different bands.
One day you'll have your time.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
The next band, that'll be Drake's band. And it'll be a pop punk band, and that's okay.
You'll all see.
Yeah.
As I believe your fans are aware, you guys have a podcast called The Misplaced Crafts.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, where did this podcast come from?
So we haven't really done a Misplaced Crafts in a long time. So, and I don't even know if we're gonna do more. Who knows? What it came from though was I do a podcast, and I've been doing it on and off for the past like 3 years, called We Should Jam Sometime, and that was going all right. And I'm doing it again. With my buddy Craig, and I just was like, we should do one with the band. Like that would be fun, because I just thought it'd be fun. We all, talk shit and are kind of funny at band practice, and that's kind of how that started. And the plan was to do more short episodes, and we did one, and then things got busy and we didn't do anymore. So that was the inspiration. Was I was doing another podcast, and I thought it'd be fun to do one with the band, and I was right. It was fun, but it's just timing is tough to get everybody. We're trying to get everybody together for practice, which is ultimately the most important thing, and then trying to like fit in like a podcast every couple weeks is tough. And then if you miss a week, then it can't get like edited.
Do you think online live shows or live interviews could boost your social media following?
Ooh, dude, I'm on this for sure. I'm personally not a fan of doing the Instagram live thing. It's not. This is why, ultimately, I think it's great. And like, you know, like bands like, just to speak like locally, like Texas King's doing a lot of them. And I think that's great. And I think if we had a fan base like Texas King, or even like half of what Texas King's fan base was, I'd probably be more interested in doing it. But right now though, I don't know if it would help us that much. And I don't think, and again, like that's something I'd want to do together as like a band. And I just don't think it'd be all that interesting just for me to do it or whatever. So like personally, I'm not that interested in doing live stream shows. I think it's cool that people are doing it. Like we have lots of friends that are doing them, and I try to support that as much as I can. I just personally don't have any interest in doing that, you know. And like I also am like, I don't know, I think Drake would probably agree with this, I don't know, but I don't necessarily like doing content just for the sake of doing content. And like we spend a lot of time on what we release, whether it's like an Instagram video or whatever. And I don't know. That's not something that piques my interest in terms of doing like a live video. Whatever, I don't know. That's Drake, you take it from me.
So yeah, I'm not, you know, disagreeing with your answer, like at all. But at the same time, I feel like there's this big comparison or like you know, juxtaposition when you're looking at, if you were to see a band in a venue live on stage, and then, you know, compare that to, you know, like how they put together like a live stream or a live session online, and it's kind of taking out, you know, like all this showmanship that gets put into, you know, like front of house, like the guy who's doing your sound, like the guy who's doing your lights, and, you know, like, you know, the space of the venue, and like, you know, it's hard to feel that kind of, you know, live energy, you know, through a screen. Like I don't know, there's just something about, you know, being close, you know, to a band that's, you know, doing their thing and like being their best on stage kind of thing. And then there's, you know, like your live stream to where, you know, you're kind of passively enjoying like a concert. At the same time, like I understand that people, you know, want to watch a live stream, like, and are really into it, but, you know, there's the people who are, you know, just clicking and you're like chilling, you know, looking on their phone, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh cool, yeah, I like this song. And then, you know, you kind of, it's this thing of, you know, engagement with a performance. And when you can do it live, like you can grab a person's attention, like, and you can hold it. But when it's on a screen, I think
It's fleeting.
you need to be doing something, you know, over the top, or I don't think you should really be, you know, trying to do it at all.
I agree.
Thank you.
Good follow-up to what I said.
So what are you listening to on your downtime?
You know, I always try to, if you guys could give me some new music to listen to, this would be great. Today I listened to this band called Broken Love. Their album is fantastic. It's a really, really great rock album. Dude, what else have I been listening to? Drake, you tell them. I'm going to open my Spotify and see what else I've been listening to.
Weirdly enough, I'm kind of like this. I like a lot of electronic stuff, which is like completely different from the rest of the band, because I myself, you know, do some electronic producer type stuff. So there's an artist I've been listening to a lot. I listen to a lot of Keizo, if you've heard of him. Crank Dat is really good. I really like his stuff.
It's funny when you say crank that, like very serious and monotone.
In conversation, like a lot of artist names sound kind of dumb in the electronic, realm. Slushy is really good. The market is pretty saturated now because it's not that it's easy to do it, but it's more people have access to like the tools that let you make it. So that's what I find nice about electronic or self-producing your own stuff. You don't technically need a band. Like it's based, some people don't listen to genres of music, and that's totally fine.
You know what album I listened to last weekend that I hadn't listened to in a really long time? It's this album from 2014 called Anti-Mask, and it's Omar and Cedric from At the Drive-In and the Mars Volta, and they did this album together. And it's so good, man. And I don't remember even how I stumbled back upon it. I was like, oh yeah, dude, I forgot about this album. Because I listened to it like nonstop when it came out. So that's a great album, and I recommend it. It's called Anti-Mask. The band and the album is called Anti-Mask, and it's amazing. So go listen to that.
Yeah, I will for sure check that out. Holy crap, that sounds good.
You never heard it before?
At Mars Volta.
No, I was really into the Mars Volta for like a year. It was weird.
Well, I mean, if you like the Mars Volta, we got to shout out London's Bodhi Jar, even though, rest in peace, they broke up. But
yeah, but they hold it down for sure.
Dude, the album they just put out is fantastic. That's also great. Listen to that.
So what can you say about the new single that you just released?
Oh man. Oh, you know what I can say? There's a music video coming out for it.
Yep.
And it's premiering on Wednesday, May 20th. I'm pretty sure that's the date. That's a Wednesday, right? May 20th. Yep. And it's coming out it's premiering on a blog called V13, which is formerly known as Pure Grain Audio. And we're very excited about that. And we appreciate them premiering it. And it's been we shot the video the day after the song came out, and so it's been like 2 months. And we were very excited about it. We did it all in one day, and that was a learning experience in and of itself. It was funny because Drake and I also both took this post-production course, and so we both think that we're like video wizards. And then we realized in the editing that we probably didn't shoot enough footage, but it still looks sick. And our buddy Reed did a great job with it. He shot it and he edited it. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know when this is coming out, so either it's already out or it's coming out. But yeah, I don't know. It got good reception. It was definitely the best reception of anything that we put out before. And it was a song that we held on to for almost a year.
I think too long, even.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But,
But no, we. I think it's probably our best stuff we put out so far. I think it's been the most collaborative song, from all the band members, and I think it really puts us in a direction that we were looking to go from the start.
Yeah, for me it was interesting. This is gonna sound braggy, and I don't mean it to sound braggy, but when we were doing the EP, I was like, this is really cool. And then when we put out Taking Bets, I was like, this is way better than the EP. We put that out, and I thought Taking Bets was a really great song, and people responded to it or whatever. But with Waitlist, we were showing some people before we released it, and the response. It's funny how you can start gauging response to stuff the more you when you play a show and whatever, people are like, oh dude, you're a great guitar player or whatever, and then versus hey man, did you take I started taking vocal lessons after we started playing more, and the difference between hey man, you're a good singer versus did you take vocal lessons, because that's a real compliment.
Yeah.
And that's what we were getting with Waitlist, was oh wait, holy shit, this is a good song. And so I think that's been an eye-opener for us of okay, maybe we captured something with this song, and now we need to chase the dragon. and figure out how to do that over and over and over again.
What do you miss the most about live shows?
The live show aspect of it. Dude, I miss everything, man. Like I miss just like, dude, I love like going to rum runners, and then there's always friends there, you know, and that's great. I miss that. I miss having my ears hurt afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, and just doing that like weird thing you do with your mouth when your ears hurt, where you're like, you know, that thing. I miss that. And I miss fucking playing, dude. We wanted to play a whole bunch this year, and we've been like working. The focus also was like making our live set just so much better, and it sucks that we haven't been able to do that, you know. So I miss everything. Live shows are sick, man. They're so sick, and I can't wait till I can attend one and play one again. Drake, what do you miss? Give a better answer than I gave.
Okay. Actually, of course, just the live shows themselves are great. I miss like the 5 minutes before feeling and the 5 minutes after feeling, like both together, especially when, you know, it's a really good show. Like, cause the 5 minutes before is kind of always the same, to where it's like, okay, yep. And then, you know, we're all just kind of like, or it's like, you know, we're all setting up and like everyone's just kind of, you know, like feeling like, okay, are we ready? Like, are we going to do this? Like, when are we going to start? Like, you know, let's go. And then there's the post 5 minutes, to where it's like, shit, like, yeah, that was awesome. Like, wish we had another 30 minutes kind of thing. It's like when it's a good show, like, you know, you have like your bad shows, but at the same time, like the pre 5 minutes kind of always feels the same, but then, you know, like the 5 minutes after is just like, hell yeah. And you're just kind of like, well, me personally, you know, I'm a bit sweaty, and I'm kind of just like
a bit.
I'm
Dude,
putting stuff.
Real sweaty afterwards.
Yeah. I'm just like putting stuff down.
Never hugged.
And then, you know, like I'll walk out like from wherever we put all of our gear, and I kind of just walk through like this crowd of people, and, you know, there'll be the odd person like, great show, man. And I'm just like, yes, thank you. Like, I think that's the best feeling. It's that first person after you play a show who tells you did a good job, who's a stranger and not like someone you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first person's always Nick's mom, and then so like the first person after her.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
The first person after Nick's mom, is a good feeling. Yeah.
Love you, Darlene. Darlene's always at the show.
Yeah, she comes to every show.
Yes, Darlene and Bob.
What are ways people can support you guys while they're stuck at home?
E-transfer me like $20 every couple of days.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, just send me money. Doesn't have to be for the band. I think like the best thing. I mean, I could say like go to our band camp and fucking whatever, but honestly, just like play our music, man, and like, tell somebody about it. I think like that's something that kind of goes underrated. I think, you know, especially like, I mean, I know everybody is on Spotify, but like Spotify and Instagram just make it so easy to tell people about it. You know, and make playlists. You know, just, you know, that's the main thing, is just tell people about it, and tell people that you think would like legitimately be into this rock band or whatever you're into, you know. That's number one. Just play the songs over and over again, you know. You can even turn the volume down and just put it on repeat for like an hour. Whatever, you know. Obviously, you know, and like interact. If you're like, my big thing is like, if you legitimately like a band, interact with that band, you know, speaking like generally. You know, if you're into fucking Basic White, which is another great band from London, interact with their posts and stuff. Like, even if it's comment, just like, you guys are rad, like whatever, like that stuff, because then the algorithm starts rolling, and that stuff, that's how things grow, you know. So
and like, you know, bands love to see that stuff too, that like people are enjoying it, because you know we want you to like, I mean, we want you to like our stuff, we want you to you know, to engage with us, like we want to put out music for you, like, you know, the fans, and if you do like it, then let us know, like that gets us even more, you know, fired up to keep pushing, like to keep going.
Yeah, so it makes it exciting, you know, because it's like, we want to make more shirts, but we want to make sure somebody wants to buy those shirts before we make them, or whatever, you know. I know that's maybe like, it's not necessarily about like the money, you know what I mean? It's, I would rather see people playing the songs and telling people about them, than even going to our band camp and sending us fucking, you know, whatever, $5 or whatever. Like, that's awesome, and if you want to do that, for sure do that, but just play the songs and tell people about us. Support your friends.
Is there anything you guys would like to add before we go?
And we've added so much.
I mean, like music video dropping. Just keep pushing that. We were super happy to, you know, because we haven't done a music video for a song in a long time. This was really fun to do. We're just super excited about putting it out.
So excited. Yeah, stream waitlist a bunch. Watch the video, and follow us on social media. We try to keep our, you know, Facebook's Facebook. We do our best. We try to keep our Instagram interesting though, and we try to be funny. I don't know if we're funny, but we try to be funny. And man, I don't know. Follow our stuff. Listen to our music, please, and tell one friend about us. And then tell that friend to tell two friends, and it's like kind of like a pyramid, you know.
It's like a pyramid scheme, but but it's for good. It's for good. Like, we're not trying to rip you off.
Rock, you know. Yeah, all you'll get out of it is more rock.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much for having us. This is awesome.